Alright, today we are talking about Nirvana's really rad unplugged cover of the Meat Puppets' really rad song Lake of Fire, and we are doing so because Mr. Jason Spade threw some lettuce Terrence's way. Jason Spade, thank you so very much for that, and while we are on the topic, I would like to thank Mr. Daniel Thompson and Mr. Stephen Bowring for signing up for the Patreon supporter of the Cause Club. Gentlemen, thank you very, 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 very much. I'm officially now less than 1 month behind in my thanks for your gracious outpouring of support. I am very grateful, and of course, if you'd like to join the Craziest Friends Club, the link is in the description. Step one is, you guessed it, you gotta detune your guitar 1/2 step down. So instead of Eddie 8 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie, you will have E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat. I'm not that smart, I just said all the string names and then said flat. But if you don't know how to do that, I've made a video on how to do that, and it'll be in the description. And now we can get going. Grab a power chord on the E string 3rd fret, that's a G. Then we want F on the 1st fret, and B flat on the 1st fret of the A string. That's the first thing, there's 6. Sometimes you hear this G power chord turn a lit chord, it's milk, turn a little bit into a G minor chord, just a little bit, but not the rest of them. F, B flat. Okay, the second thing is the G again. But then we're going to grab the G string and the B string with your ring and pinky fingers on the 5th fret and give it a bend wiggle, a wiggle. And then we're going to let that fall down to the 3rd fret for both of them. That's why we use those 2 fingers, so your pointer finger is ready for it. The third thing's going to be G, F, B flat, just like the first thing. And then the 4th thing is C on the 3rd fret of the A string, but I swear I hear a low 5th in this power chord, so your pointer finger can get both the A string and the E string 3rd fret if you want. You don't have to, but you can. I think I hear it. And then F, G. That's 4. Here we go, I'll do them. G, F, B flat, G, G, F, B flat, C, F, G. Then we're gonna go G, F, B flat, G, and then the bass, or the rhythm guitar, or the bass. I think, is Chris playing a guitar in this song and someone else is playing bass? Anyways, I hear that one go G, F, G, while the doodle-doodle-doodle-doos happen, and that's gonna be the G string 10th fret and B string 11th fret. Save this shape, because it's just gonna move around, and give it a wiggle while you do it. Down to 5, 6, and up to 7, 8. So, here we go. Also, every other time, for whatever reason, whenever we do that G, F, B flat, G thing, the 5th thing of 6, you hear the guitar player kind of chug away on it more like this. Before he does his thing. That was the intro and the verse. Here's the chorus. We're going to play a D minor chord, the chord everyone always forgets. It's E1, G2, B3. I knew a lady, B flat suspended 2. Sounds more complicated than it is. Make your B flat power chord, 1, 3, 3, but then give it a bar. So you have 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. Back to D minor. And good old fashioned A. D minor, the B flat chord. Now you've gone through all this trouble to make this B flat suspended 2. We're going to play C suspended 2 next, so you double your return here. Just move it up 2 frets. And then it's D minor. Now in that performance, he goes up to D minor bar chord so that he can do this, which is you're going to strum gingerly down your D minor chord there, or would it be lusciously? Hammer on with that middle finger to your B string 6th fret, pull off, hammer back on, and as you hammer back on, you're going to pluck G, and then D. So you can do that same thing that I just did on the regular D minor chord with your pointer finger and just pluck down the other strings. It works just as well. I don't know why he went up to the bar. Do either one. Well, it's because you get that high A in the D minor bar chord. You don't get that high A in the D minor regular chord. That's why. But still do either one you want. And then there's the solo. I'm going to go through the solo and find 2 or 3 or 4 neat, tasty little moves that happen in the solo. But before I do, the rhythm section during the solo is playing just one of 2 things. Either G, F, G, or B flat, F, G. It really does not matter. You can even play either one while the band, you can do it wrong and it still sounds right. It's just a jammy little section with G, and G, or B flat, F, G. There doesn't seem to really be any rhyme or reason to it, so do either one. But now let's get some tasty moves out of the solo. The solo is in G minor. That should come as no surprise. The first chord of the song is a G minor. And to review our G minor pentatonic scale, it's going to start on the 3rd fret of the E string and go 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6. Do your thing, noodle around. It's gonna sound fantastic and found fantastic. But there's a couple of things that really tickled me here, and I think this is why I like to learn solos, is because you find something you like, and then in some other solos, in some other land, on some other day, when you're playing, you can add that little move in there, and you can sound really intelligent when all you really did was copy somebody else. But it starts off with one of said tasty moves, a note that's not in the G minor pentatonic scale. It's the B string 2nd fret, and we're gonna slide into the 3rd fret, like that. I want you to think of this note as the note that makes B minor, B flat minor, B flat minor. There it is, right, with your middle finger on the 2nd fret. And then we're gonna grab the E string 3rd fret, to that B string 3rd fret, and then bend your B string 6th fret, and then play the E string 3rd fret. This is the 2 becomes 1 move I always talk about. We're bending B6, excuse me, so that it becomes E3, and then we're playing E3. Right? So we got... And then he kind of makes his way down the scale and he throws another note that is not included in the G minor pentatonic scale. So I'm going to play a B6 and then G5, 3, just going down the pentatonic from here, D5, 3, and then A, 5, 4, 3. That's a note that Jerry Cantrell really likes. It's the blue note. It's the flat 5th. So that's going to be... And it just makes everything a little fancier sounding. So something along the lines of, again, this is not exactly, but let's get some cool things to throw in there so it harkens the neat things that happen. That was so sloppy. Now I want to talk about this pesky E string 6th fret. When we talk about the pentatonic, it goes 3, 6, right? But this is never a convenient note to play. So we went down like we did, and he continues lower, and that's where we're going now. So we started on B6, and then we ended up on G5, and we're going down our pentatonic through the blue note, and we're supposed to hit that note, that B flat on the E string 6th fret, but a B flat is also here on the A string 1st fret, so we can go... It's the same B flat note, we're just in a different position now, and we have the advantage of now being able to play that low G note and the low F note, which wasn't in our original position. So now we can go all the way down like we did, and then back up, slide back into our original position, and then we're gonna grab D3, 5, and then grab our G and B strings on the 3rd fret and return back to our D5. So, not exactly. You hear him do something with those notes, but here's a repeating theme rhythmically with different notes. We also hear him leave the pentatonic scale in this direction now into the relative major pentatonic scale. So we're not leaving the pentatonic scale, we're just leaving that particular position. Grab G5, slide up to 7, and now grab your B6. In my own idiom. All cool things to do. And now, to wrap things up, I would like to spend way too long talking about one note of the song, and arguably one of the most important notes of the song, and that is the very last note of the song. Now, while you're soloing, of course, you can learn which minor pentatonic scale you're supposed to use, and you can noodle around aimlessly and endlessly, and nobody will be the wiser that you have no idea what you're doing because none of the notes are wrong, right? But when it comes to the very last note, you want to play one of 3 notes, and those 3 notes are the note that comprise the last chord. So the last chord of the song for this song is G minor. In order to find those 3 notes, we find our root G, and it's a minor chord, so we're looking for a minor third. A minor third, relative whatever root you're talking about, every single wear, is going to be 2 frets lower and 1 string towards the floor. So B flat, the aforementioned pesky chord that we don't like playing here but do like playing here, is going to be our minor third, and the 5th is, if you think of your chord as a power chord, it's the note that your ring finger is on. So in our case it's D, but we don't really need to know that. We just need to know it's this one. So I want you to turn on the song and do the solo, noodle around aimlessly, but the first time end on the G. That's the note they end on, so that will likely be the most satisfying to you because we've heard it so many thousands of times, right? And then the second time, end on the minor third, B flat. And just notice the different effect it has. It still sounds 100% like you meant to do it and like the song is over. And then try the 5th, D. They will all have a slightly different feel. And then try any other of the notes in the pentatonic scale here. Try F. Just give it a shot. It won't sound wrong, again, but it won't quite sound like you meant to do it. So here's me doing it. Here we go. Here's the root first, the G. You could try it exactly like this, right? The second time, imagine the song in your head and then go do it with the song. Just stay on that B flat. And the third time, totally different effect, and now I've spent 2 minutes and 22 seconds talking about just one note, so I think that means it's time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for being here. I hope you found that helpful and maybe even fun. Thank you again, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye. Cats touching butts.